You are now listening to The Outsiders podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Outsiders. I am your host, Sean Sims, and I'm with my co-host, superstar, Doc Cheatham. Doc, say hi to the people.
Hello there. God bless everyone.
Okay, having a little technical. I got to put my pod back on. Anyway, we've got quite a show for you today, and we're gonna definitely be talking about what happened. There was a town hall meeting. This is the Baltimore edition of The Outsiders. There was a town hall meeting, and they should have named it. It shouldn't have been named a town hall meeting. It should have been named the Sheila Dixon Show, because that's what it was. It was a Sheila Dixon Show with Sheila Dixon supporters. Backed by Sheila Dixon supporter of Fox 45, and it was a Sheila Dixon show. It was a joke, but clown fest. But we're going to talk about that, and we're going to deep dive into what's going on with the mayor's race, the blackballing of other candidates, unconstitutional, unfair. FCC Board of Elections should be looking into this as far as the media time. One candidate's getting over another. It's outrageous. And we're going to be, of course, talking about our Baltimore Ravens. They did it again. They beat arguably the best team in the NFL at this time, or at least they were, the Detroit Lions. And we're going to have a special guest, Wendell Freeman. He is running for mayor of Baltimore City. He's a young man. He's got some interesting, good ideas. He's got the energy. I like what I'm saying, but I'm actually going to do something different than the other media outlets. I'm actually going to give candidates time to talk about their platform and what they want to do for the city, because that's fair. Because we're fair and more than balanced here at The Outsiders. We're actually straight shooters. We don't just talk the talk. Doc, do we not walk the walk? Are we not straight shooters?
I think we are overly fair, and I think that makes for good radio. And I think the fact that we even don't always agree on the issues, because there's so many directions we can move in. So folks, really listen to this show. You can learn a lot, and we can learn a lot from you.
Yes, we can. We get feedback. We are shows on Facebook as well, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, soon coming Google and Apple as well. So we're expanding.
Google and Apple. Golly gee.
Yes, sir. So we're going to another level, and we're expanding, and we're getting out there and letting people know what's going on. And I do have to mention this. I'm going to mention this before we start talking about the Ravens. There's word going around that, and I made the call, and I've actually sent out an email, that part of an administration, there's an administration shakeup. Doc, have you heard about an administration shakeup going on in Baltimore City?
No, not at all.
Okay, I guess they're trying to keep it hush-hush. But I know of folks and have folks Somebody I've been talking with, Bishop Barry Chapman, who's trying to help out those poor employees at the circuit court because of the situation they're in. The unions asked me, I don't know what they're doing. There's a situation with this young man who's gotten in, 24-year-old kid, driving people nuts. So they had to, Bishop Barry told me, hey, they called me. I had stopped. You know, he had been basically helping the union, helping employees, representing them and so on for years, I think 25, 30 years. And he got out of it and he said, you know what, hey Sean, I got a call from people and they were begging and crying, saying, you know, could you please come back? Because, I mean, this kid in here now, he's worse than Marilyn Bentley, who was a terror, Tasmanian devil. He's worse than her. And what I'm hearing is firing people left and right. And I have to confirm it, of course, Doc, you have to confirm. That's why I called the office and did not get a confirmation. Spoke with the young lady and gave her my information, sent an email out, and wanted to confirm if their assistant chief deputy clerk of the court, Mr. Obi Oradala, had been canned if you fired him. Because I hear this kid's firing people left and right. So we're going to wait to see and find out if he's been fired. And this is the assistant chief deputy clerk, from what word I'm getting, as from Bishop Chapman. This guy has been there for a long time, knows his way around the circuit court, and he's been pretty much this Xavier Conaway, changed his name. His name is Xavier Washington. That's his name. But he changed it to Conaway to, I guess, trick people to get him in office, to vote for him, not knowing he's a 24-year-old kid, doesn't know anything. So this is what's going on. So I'm trying to confirm it, but that is a shakeup. That's a shakeup. If you're firing administrative people, Doc, would you call that at least some type of shakeup? That's unusual that quickly.
And it's sad to hear that because you know, many of us had the opportunity to meet the employees who work in the clerk's office, and you would have to say, you know, I think many of us, because we have been jurors, I'm very impressed with the work that they do. As a bunch, you know, there's always room for improvement, but you know, even though I'm not downtown, but maybe once a month, but the words that I'm hearing coming out of that building from people who work for the clerk's office, it's not good. What I'm hearing is not good.
You know, it's not good at all, and there are other things that are going on that I cannot really get into right now. I can put it like that, but it will be coming out, the whole city and state, because people have to remember the circuit court, most people have no idea. They don't have a clue of how this touches their lives and affects them. They don't have a clue. You can ask your law firm, you ask them, people who have attorneys, have lawyers, ask them, how important is the circuit court? They'll tell you.
Johnny, this is a term that I think I may have heard from 6 different people in 6 different instances. They're saying the word arrogance. Now, I don't know whether or not you are experiencing, or the people that are working there are using the same terms, but I would say out of the 5 or 6 people that have addressed me about what's going on or what's not going on in the clerk's office, they're saying there's arrogance there.
I've been getting that back from Bishop Barry Chapman. He's actually met with young Xavier, and that's pretty much what I'm getting back from him. He's very upset.
I'm definitely an outsider, not just because I'm on your radio show, but you know, I've not been downtown on a regular basis. You know, I worked downtown for 42 years, and you know, I miss being down there. But for me to hear from so many employees that are working in that building, and you know, you're talking about different things, but they're all saying arrogance.
Yes, arrogance, stubbornness. It's like when you take a kid to Toys R Us and a kid wants this toy and you're like, no, you can't have it, and then, you know, they're throwing temper tantrums and getting upset because they're, you know, there's a kid and so they want a toy, they're getting upset. It's more like that, childish arrogance. That's what I'm getting back.
I'm looking forward to maybe us having a discussion at some point about this 12-year-old that's making ball threat calls, and he tells the police, you can't do nothing to me because I'm 12 years old.
Well, you can blame Jill Carter for that. Hey, Jill, thanks a lot. You know, thanks for emboldening children who are utilizing the system so that they can hurt citizens. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate that. Thumbs up on that. Of course, I'm being facetious. Bad move, terrible move. But we're gonna move on because I want to get to Mr. Freeman, who's running, and we want to touch on. I got to talk about this victory. This team, if they play like this, the Baltimore Ravens, if they play like this or even close to this level, they're not going to be able to play at that level the whole rest of the season, because they were playing all cylinders, all 6 or 8 cylinders, 12 cylinders, whatever. They were popping. Everything's just popping. Doc, what do you think of that victory?
I think your observation is definitely on point. I think the difference that I've seen, and I've been a little bit worried about the training that they had because they've had so many injuries. But last week they had the largest number of non-injured players playing, and they were clicking. I think the fearful thing about football is you don't know. You know you're going to get injuries, but you just don't know to what degree. And I really think, depending upon injuries, and I'm definitely a Raven fan, but I say barring any major injuries or too many, I think folks will look out for the Ravens. I think we're going to be going at least to the playoffs, but I think injuries play such a large part in football. And you're hoping that folks don't get injured, but it's a part of the sport. People get injured.
Yes, they do, and hopefully, I know you were mentioning the training and all, but I hope that this injury situation is at a minimum. Just hope and pray, because we want the Ravens to do well. But what I saw last week, Todd Monken, that's how you make play calls. That's play calling. Move the ball around, different receivers. You need to do, Todd, listen to me. You need to do a little bit more on misdirection plays. Okay. Other than that, give Lamar a little bit more protection. He was scrambling out of that pocket because it collapsed on him a few times. But those two things, a little bit more protection for Lamar and more misdirection plays.
He seems very comfortable with the system that he's being asked to implement. He seems like he's comfortable with it. And that is good. You can see this kid, unlike some sports reporters that we have, he not only is physically talented, but he's mentally talented.
Yeah, it's starting to click. All of it's starting to click, Doc. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Wendell Freeman. He actually filed June 27th. So he's one of the first people to file. So I'm going to call him right now. So hold on just a tick. Let me go ahead and call Wendell now. Hello, Wendell.
Hello.
Wendell, hey, it's Sean Simpson, Doc Cheatham.
Yes, sir. How you doing? Doing good. Good morning. Good day to you. Good morning. How you fellas doing?
We are doing well. I'm glad to have you on The Outsiders. And I spoke with Wendell. See, this is what happened. I figured, you know what? I want to actually be fair and more than balanced. I'll change that. I want to be more than fair and more than balanced. So I got in touch with the candidates who have filed. You've got candidates out here who, they may have declared, but they haven't filed yet. So I said, wait a minute, who's this guy Wendell Freeman? I mean, this guy, he actually filed in June 27th, which is 3 days after my birthday. I'm a June 24th baby, but yeah, so I'm like, let me give him a call, and gave him a call. I said, okay, this young man, it seems to have a good head on his shoulders. And Wendell, when I called you in regards to once you filed, you wanted to get in contact with other stations and other media outlets. Could you tell me, what happened? Could you tell our audience what happened when you did that?
I never got a response back. I emailed everybody, any news station that you can name, every radio station that's in the city, and we didn't get a response. And we did it multiple different times. And we was confused because when Sheila Dixon announced her candidacy, she didn't even declare, she didn't go paper, she did none of that. And these broadcasts, she was on every news station, she was everywhere. And me, like you said earlier, I followed in June, of this year, and I haven't even got a letter back saying, hey, I sit down and talk to you. So it's really a bias thing going on right now, to be honest.
Well, that is not fair. What should happen, the way the system is set up, is that each candidate, and there are FCC and Board of Election rules that come to this, so that you don't have a situation where you have a candidate that has a monopoly on a media outlet, or a monopoly on a radio show, or a monopoly on a TV program, a news program. That's exactly what the system, the way the system was set up, so that would not happen. So, Wendell, let's get right to the nitty gritty. Okay, what do you foresee if you were to become mayor? And what's your platform? What do you want to do, and what can you bring to Baltimore as its leader?
Okay, great question. First and foremost, my three main focuses when I'm elected mayor next year. First one is education. I'm a product of Baltimore City School. I graduated in 2012, and in this race, I'm literally the only candidate that was graduated in the past 10 years, right? So I know what's going on as far as education. Our children still have ACE. Our children still, on land is in the country. We're one of the most funded states in the world for education, but our kids are still failing. So, my top priority is to get rid of the CEO of public city schools and replace her with somebody that's actually going to do the job. But not just her. It doesn't just stop with her, right? We have to get all the people that are on the board that have seen this stuff every single day and get rid of the people who are not going to further our children for success. Because my favorite thing of saying is, we need more civilians and less criminals, right? And we can't control people, houses they grow up in. We can't control, their earning living and stuff like that. But we can't control the education, and that helps them understand what kind of human being they'll be, right? But that's really my main focus, education. Public safety is my second priority. We have to get the illegal guns off the street. But we have to get everybody involved. We have a lot of partners involved at the state level and the federal level, right? We have to get these gangs off the streets and get these people to stop recruiting our people. Because that's what they're doing. They're recruiting young children and having them go out there and sell drugs and guns and stuff like that. No, we have to get these people down before they continue to kill our young people. Not even just with weapons, but killing themselves by destroying the fed, right? When I was coming up and when I was going to school, I seen older people selling drugs. Now the children are selling drugs. That's backwards. So we gotta really attack public safety in a different manner. And also get the police reform going on. These police officers don't know how to deal with children. You don't know how to deal with us as citizens. So we gotta train these people how to deal with civilians every single day. Right now, they say that officers would get their cars 30% of the time, right? But I think it should change. I'm a officer that their cars 60% of the time. Because that's why we have that no fiction mentality, because people don't trust the police. But if officers are in the community, they're police and they talk to neighbors, right? They would, people feel more confidence in calling the police. So public safety is my second priority. And my third priority is basic corruption, right? We got to end the corruption that's going on in City Hall. We got to end the corruption that's going on in the city of Baltimore, right? We have programs that are getting millions of dollars every year, and we don't have a proven system on what's happening, right? The numbers say that crime is down, but for the people in the city, and when I talk to, when I'm canvassing for my mayor campaign, people don't feel safe, right? So people don't feel safe, and we just put that line out, and I don't just believe it's the same criminals. product of Baltimore City. I'm only 20 years old. I'm here to stay there. I want to work from there. And I'm running from there because I'm tired of what's going on in the city. I love children. I love Baltimore, right? And we need somebody. We gave the politicians a try. We gave Sheila Dixon a try. We gave Brandon Scott a try. We gave all these politicians a try. But let's try somebody who's not a politician, somebody who was not corrupted, somebody who grew up in the environment and grew up in the city, who knows what's going on every single day. I am that person. I've been through drug violence. I've had friends laws in front of me, right? When I was 13, my friend didn't mess with a cop. You know, the guy told me he was going to blow my brains out, you know, if I went in front of 7-Eleven, right? I've been through everything. I've been through the education system where we couldn't get on field trips and we couldn't do these things, right? I've been there. I am that person. So I just feel like I'm the perfect candidate to fix the problem in Baltimore City.
Well, I understand exactly what you're saying, Wendell. I was born and raised in Baltimore City. I've had people put guns to my head as well, saying that they're going to blow my brains out. I have been through that as well. I have been shot at. I have had somebody try to stab me. I have been in fights, altercations. I have gone through all of that sort of thing before because I guess that's the Baltimore way. But, and I understand what you're saying. Now, here's the thing. Being a young man, okay, 28 years old, and people are going to, because we have right now, so you should take hope in this. We have a young man who's even younger than you. I believe he's 24 years old. And he's the clerk of the court now. And so he got voted in. Now he had certain advantages over your situation. One is his granddaddy was a former clerk of the court, Frank Conaway Sr. So he was very well known. And another advantage he had is he changed his name from Washington to Conaway to get in. So that was kind of tricky. You know, that's like tricky Dick Nixon sort of thing. So that was tricky. So, and now he's in, but he's getting a bad report, a very bad report. And from information I'm getting out, there's going to be a lot of more coming out of what's going on there. So he's in a bit of a sticky wicket. But your situation is you are young, but you can see that in Baltimore, I guess his situation, they didn't really know him, they just voted on the name. You're doing it differently. You're going about it where fair and square. You're not going to change your name to Dixon or anything like that, are you? Because that would give you a huge advantage. You know, maybe you give Sheila a call. Hey Sheila, can you adopt me? You know, just temporarily so I can use your name. Because, you know, or use another name. Let me see, what's another name? What's another name, Doc, that he could use? Because I'm thinking, oh, I got it. Oh, stop the presses. Get Kurt Schmoke. I got his number. So you can change your name. Have Kurt Schmoke adopt you. And then you can change your name to Schmoke. See? And then that'll be Schmoke running against Dixon. That'll give you a better shot. Of course, I'm being facetious. I'm being facetious, but in regards to, and I want Doc to ask a question. I want to ask this first though. In regards to Dr. Mengele, because that's what I call her, because she has tortured the children of Baltimore City school system by it being so bad. It's a form of torture. So I call her Dr. Mengele, Sonia Santelises. You want to get rid of her how quickly once you get in to start the change?
Yes, sir.
How fast do you want to get rid of her once you get in, if you got in?
I'm not gonna lie, it's like I just got rid of her as soon as I went. You know, I'm having my campaign with the Lord and saying, I know, right? Because people ask me, they said, you don't even want to meet with her and talk to her. I said,
No. Why?
Why, right?
I mean, I would say the same thing. Why would I want to meet with Dr. Mengele? I know Dr. Mengele has tortured children. Why would I want to meet? We're going to have a meeting? Well, I'll tell you what, this is what you can do. This is what you can do, Wendell. You can have a brown lunch. You can meet with her and have a brown lunch. And I don't even know what brown lunch means. That's what your opponent said. And this is full disclosure, Wendell. Your opponent, okay, I asked her a question at a meeting I guess it was like, not a town hall, but she had a meeting where she was answering questions. But I asked her a question, and it was in regards to discrimination. It was in regards to sexual harassment in the workplace, because I don't know what her record is on civil rights. Doc said she doesn't have much of one. And I asked her the question, you know, what are you going to do to help the employees of Baltimore City? Because this is rampant. This is a rampant thing that's going on. And she goes, oh, well, I used to have brown lunches and we'll talk things over. And then I'll send them to the Inspector General, because the Inspector General takes care of it now. And I said, yeah, I didn't say it to her then. I wanted to. I'm like, nah, I'll just talk about it on my podcast. What's that, an ambulance? What is it, a fire? Doc, could you mute your phone? Okay, thanks. Okay, so I said this, I asked her this question, and she goes, a brown lunch, in regards to discrimination and sexual harassment. That's how she treats things, with a brown lunch. Now, basically, I don't know what the hell a brown lunch, what is a brown lunch? I don't know what she's talking about. This is who you're running against. You see, Wendell, don't let Sheila Dixon or anybody, especially Brandon, please, do not let anyone intimidate you at all. You go at her like you would go at anybody else. You're 28 and she's pushing 70. It doesn't matter. Okay? You go at her like you would go after anyone else, because you're both on a level playing field. You're both candidates. So don't let that stuff about her, she was the mayor before, oh, y'all, forgive me, gift cards, y'all, I'm going to do good, I'm going to do good. Forget that crap. Forget that, okay? You go after her. As a matter of fact, that's what you should do. You should be calling her people and begging for, not begging, but demanding, take that begging back, demanding a debate. That's what you should be doing. You should be demanding to debate her. And so should all the other candidates. You all should be debating. But I digress. Doc, what questions do you have for Wendell?
First, let me commend you, Wendell, for putting your experience and I guess your ability to the forefront on running for a candidate. I would say this: we need to know that 90% of the candidates that are going to run in next year's election haven't even filed yet. 90% of them. What my community has done, and I'm hoping that you've gotten an email from Acting Henson Neighborhood Association, we are sending to all the candidates once they file a questionnaire. And we ask that you fill out the questionnaire, and on the basis of how well you do on the questionnaire as to whether or not we will invite you to our community to talk to our community. So hopefully you have gotten it. If not, I'll send you another one. But there are questions that we would ask. But I would ask one question of you, because it's probably the biggest issue that deals with my community, which is in the Western District. Where are you with the fact that 1/3 of the citizens of Baltimore are living in food deserts?
Absolutely. And that's a good question. As far as the email is concerned, you can go out of the world for the week, but I will get that done as soon as possible. But I did receive it, so you don't got to receive it.
Okay, good. Let you know I'll definitely email you.
I got it. It was a shelter so as well, but I was home for a couple of days. I ain't believe it, but I will get it completed as soon as possible. But to answer your question about the food deserts, that's actually something that we know that there's a problem, and that's something that has to get addressed. What I'm going to do as mayor is that I don't know if like, because I was told, like, we don't have a lot of markets, like, in the city of Baltimore. Like, when you go in the county, it's a lot, but in the city, it's not. And I think that we need more, like I'm not going to say hood stores, but, like, what about corner stores that have food, right? Because, you know, we have the businesses, we have the states, you know, we have everything that we need to do that, and we can't have a market that, because people that have food to be accessible, right? Everybody doesn't have a vehicle, everybody doesn't have a place to get to 100 miles to get some food. So we have to create that in these areas, like you said, in the West Baltimore area, in East for when they start moving all over the city so that people can get what they need to get.
So you'll work on doing that as mayor?
Yes, sir, as mayor, that is one of my top priorities as well, because that's what's needed. I just remember my mom was struggling, like we didn't have a market up here. We had to catch muscle different buses and shit, and you like 100 bags of groceries, you know, just to get home, you know, so that continues to be a problem even up to the day. So yeah, that's what I would do up there. When I become mayor next year, I want to create corner markets.
Well, that sounds, Doc, what do you think of that?
I like the idea. I'm kind of energized. I think you're very intelligent and articulate. I kind of wish you would get some other young people such as yourself to run for city council. I think that's where the significant improvements need to be made in elected officials. I think with the 14 or 15 city council people we had, I think only 3 or 4 deserve to be reelected. So I would like to encourage you to encourage other young adults to come and run for office as you're doing. And I'm impressed with you. I'm impressed with you.
Well, I was as well. When I called Wendell, I said, okay, let's see what's going on here. Because, Wendell, I'll be honest with you, when I call people to either put together an interview or speak with them, for the most part, it usually goes pretty well. But sometimes you get folk and it's like, oh my goodness, Maron, this guy's running for I mean, this guy wants to come on my show. Oh, you know. But when I spoke with Wendell, oh, there's that. What is it? A fire where you are, Doc? Doc, are you on location?
No, I think that's my background. I'm like in downtown Baltimore. It's like I'm going past.
Okay. So Wendell's on location. But when I call people to talk about the show, coming on the show or whatever, and you get all types. Wendell, I'm going to give you credit because, and the reason I'm giving you credit is because I reached out to Xavier Washington Conaway. I reached out to him, and initially we had, I would say, a pretty decent conversation. He told me that my reputation preceded me, and I said, okay. So,
yes, it does.
I said, okay. That's good. We had a nice little conversation. He was going to come on the show. And I'm a straight shooter. I wasn't going to blindside him or, you know, try to trick him or, I mean, he won the election. I was the campaign advisor for Kim Banks. So, I don't know, maybe his mommy, I think Belinda, told him, you know, don't go on the show, or somebody scared him, which was a mistake. I was going to do a good interview, find out what he was going to do. He did interview when he won the primary. He did do an interview with Sheila and Hassan Giordano. He did an interview with them, talking about all the things he was going to do once he got in. And he made promises. He was going to remove the door so he could have a true open door policy as clerk of the court. Never happened. He said he was going to roll up his sleeves and work with his employees. Never happened. He said he was going to find out where every penny went, do an audit, just like you mentioned, Wendell, to do an audit when you get in, which is what you do. As far as I know, never happened. And he said he was going to do a lot of things, and he did the direct opposite. And he did not come on the show. He got scared. I call it being a coward. I call it being yellow. And didn't come on the show. So I knew bad things were coming down. I said, you know what? If he's not going to come on this show and be honest and talk to people, then that just tells me that there are going to be some bad things going on in that circuit court. And true to life, that's what I'm getting back, a lot of it. But this is what I want to do. I want you guys to listen. I have some some sections I pulled up. I actually take the whole thing, but I'm going to play a few things in regards to the City Hall clip, a few clips in regards to this City Hall this past week, which I call the Sheila Dixon Show, because that's what it was. They should have just taken the town hall meeting sign down, taken that take that down and put on the back, Sheila Dixon Show. Because to say it was a town hall was a joke. But let me go ahead and play a few things and I will comment on it. So just hold on a second. Okay, let me cue it up. Here we go.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Your Voice, Your Future City in Crisis Town Hall. I'm Mackenzie Frost. Soon, Baltimore City voters will decide who they want to see lead the city for the next 4 years. We're sitting down with various mayoral candidates to get some answers to questions you...
Stop. Why in the world would Mackenzie Frost say we're sitting down with various mayoral candidates, plural, when there's only one mayoral candidate on that panel? No, I'm serious. Let's stop right there because, Doc, you know how I roll. I deep dive and I analyze. And you have a Fox reporter who is basically emceeing this thing. And one of the first words out of her mouth is, we're sitting down with mayoral candidates. Wendell, were you there?
No, I wasn't.
Were you invited?
Nope, wasn't invited.
You weren't even invited, and you were the first candidate. I believe you and Wendy Bozell were the first candidates to file, and both of you filed on June 27th. Did you know Wendy filed on June 27th as well?
Yeah, because I've been wondering, like, I know she came in that. I didn't see her personally, but yeah, I know that she filed the same day as me.
The same day, but you filed earlier than she did.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I was the first one. I went to her and like said they opened.
Okay, great. That calls initiative. Well, let me go on and play some more of this.
You need asked, and those answers are so desperately needed. Tonight, our discussion and topic is centered around public safety. Let's introduce our panel this evening.
Let's introduce our panel. She didn't say our candidates. She literally just said previous to that, mayoral candidates. Then she says, let's introduce our panel, not candidates. Did you notice that, Doc?
Yeah, and that's the sequel, and I would hope that all the candidates that are running will challenge the FCC and the various radio stations to have them let us hear all the candidates and basically call it like you see it, candidate. If Fox 45 is being deceitful and putting together a panel but only putting one person on there, let's expose these TV and radio stations and podcasts if they're not being fair. And right now, they're starting out not being fair.
Exactly. So let me continue this with Mackenzie Frost.
We have Democratic mayoral candidates and former Mayor Sheila Dixon. We have the president of the Maryland Fraternal Order of Police, Clyde Boatwright, and we have former chief judge of the Baltimore City Circuit Court, Wanda Hurd.
Now let me get this straight. Instead of having, they could have had in those other chairs candidates. Wendell, you should have been in that chair instead of Boatwright, whatever the guy is. You should have been in that chair instead of Judge Hurd.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there. What? They're not running for mayor. Judge Hurd is not running for mayor.
You said Judge Hurd?
Yeah, Wanda Hurd.
Well, isn't she on the campaign trail with Sheila?
Yeah, Doc, good point. Yes. Wow. So
it's like having two candidates coming from the same campaign. This is my understanding. I have a lot of admiration for Judge Hurd, but I challenge Fox 45. If they ain't heard on there, the word that I have is Hurd is on the campaign trail with Sheila.
Yes, I know Judge Hurd as well. We have some good conversations. I'm going to give her a call as well. And I would consider her a friend, but they're stacking the deck. Let's continue.
Now, we did invite Mayor Brandon Scott to participate in this discussion tonight, but his office refused or...
Now listen to this. See, this is the elitist. This is so elitist and bourgeoisie elite, looking down, let them eat cake attitude by saying, well, we did invite Mayor Brandon Scott. First of all, you didn't invited him to 100 of these things, and he said no to all of them. So you knew he wasn't going to show up. So to try to make it look like you're above it all by inviting one person who's the mayor and not the other candidates, that's what I call BS. Brandon Scott. Bullshit. Scheisse. BS. You know Brandon's his initials are BS.
Right.
How appropriate. Let's go on.
Our invitation. And I know that the primary election, there are various candidates. We are basing tonight's discussion around recent polling showing this race is a two-person race.
Stop. That is such crap. First of all, there is nowhere unless somebody can, and I sent an email out to McKenzie, and I sent an email out, letting her know I had an issue with what happened and the fact that you had a town hall and you're saying that, and here, I'll read the email real quick. Good afternoon, McKenzie. I just watched the town hall held yesterday. I would have been there, but I had other business to attend to. Yeah, I did. I had other stuff I had to attend to. But I won't miss the next one. First of all, where were the other candidates that have filed? To only have Sheila, because you all knew Brandon would not be there, was a disastrously biased town hall. Not to add the fact that you had panelists who are pro-Sheila. Doc, you picked that up. The excuse of the poll numbers in excluding filed candidates does not pass the smell test. There are no FCC or election laws rules that state or infer, quote, poll numbers determine the airtime in which media should exclude or include political candidates, end quote. If there is such a rule, please send. This looks like an election psyop being run against Baltimore City voters by Fox in favor of one candidate over the other candidates in the race. I thought Fox was, quote, fair and balanced, end quote. I didn't see any fairness and certainly no balance in last night's town hall. I will have one of the filed candidates on the Outsiders podcast this week. That's you, Wendell. Doc Cheetah, myself, and the candidate will address this very crucial issue in fairness, so on and so on and so on. Sean Sims, host of the Outsiders podcast. I sent that, and I carbon copied a whole bunch of media folk. Because this is wrong. This is just wrong. It's un-American, too. What is this, Venezuela? This looks like a Venezuelan playbook to put a communist dictator in. You have your candidate with the candidate's supporters on a panel. Then have another candidate running for the same office in the audience asking your candidate questions. Because Wendy Bazell was there. And she gets up, I said, this is crazy, this is bizarre world, and starts asking Sheila, another candidate who's filed, questions. Wendell, have you ever heard, would you have asked Sheila any questions, or would you have demanded to be on that panel because you are a candidate?
Yeah, absolutely. I would have demanded to be on the candidate because I really don't have nothing. I don't have a question to ask Sheila, to be honest. I mean, I'm better to debate her.
Exactly.
Because I just don't understand how, if you're convicted for felonies, they still work for public office, but a person will be in a mistake who has a felony can't get a decent job.
That is the elitist. That's just how it works. It's all about them. It's not about you. It's not about the people. It's about them. It's about what they want. It's about the way they're going to do things. And he makes a very good he makes a very good point. how are you going to have, you got a record misdemeanor for embezzlement and 12 indictments, and the embarrassment, Obama didn't even want to come near her. Didn't want to come anywhere near her. And now you're running, but that's another story. And the voters, they need to make their mind on that. But let me go ahead and play a question that they had for...
I got another question if I can.
Oh, sure, Doc, of course. Okay, Doc.
My other question, this might be an issue for all of the candidates because I don't think any of them have been made aware of a transportation issue that is not being discussed by the city of Baltimore. And that issue is that there is something called a Tom City Circulator. That is a bus. It's a transportation issue. And in the city of Baltimore, there are 4 circulator routes. And all 4 of these circulator routes go through overwhelmingly white neighborhoods. There are no circulator buses going in black neighborhoods. And I'm going to actually pose this question of all of the candidates that I see in this article that we had in the Afro about a month ago, that there is a circulator bus. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. It runs throughout the city of Baltimore, but it only runs through white communities. So one, I don't know whether or not you have heard information about this, but we have put in the Afro did run it, that Baltimore City is running transportation for white communities and not providing the same for black communities.
Well, here you go again. I mean, it's Baltimore. There's another issue. Wendell, could you address that?
Yes, and you know what's crazy, Doc? I'm glad you just mentioned that because even when I was in high school and I had to catch the bus home, I never really realized that until now that those free buses, I know some of those little like purple buses that just go, if you go downtown and go to the white area, is absolutely right. And I didn't realize that until now because it doesn't go out of downtown. It just goes to downtown, to Baltimore, to wherever in that area. So that's a problem, and I believe that the transit system needs a whole reform anyway, but I know that is that's a state thing, and that's something that, we got to go to West more about when I'm elected, because, the whole transit system needs to be revamped. That's how I feel. They don't come on time, the drivers are rude, people don't, older people who try to catch the bus can't catch the bus because it's going to be efforts trying to stop them fast from getting for a seat. So transportation, and because I believe that our officers should be on every bus. That's how I feel. I believe that we need officers on every bus, every transit, every subway.
Well,
that's how we take public safety.
I think it's a good idea as well, but you need the officers. I mean, you're short. How many officers are they short? Like 700 police officers short, something like that? I mean, that's ridiculous. So you short those officers, so we're going to stay on that topic, Doc, in future shows, because that is, again, you're favoring one group over another, and I'm going to bring up something that, and we brought it up last week, it had to do with the anthrax scare at the circuit court. Here we go with the circuit court again. The sheriff and the clerk of the court, both, as far as I'm concerned, teamed up and kept those people locked in that circuit court when there was an anthrax threat, instead of evacuating. An immediate evacuate should have been done. And if that would have been Wicomico County, and Wendell, here's the thing. If that would have been Wicomico County, Dorchester County, any other county, St. Mary's County, Queen Anne's County, Frederick, Carroll County, these other counties, you know where I'm going with this. They would have evacuated that court so fast your head would swim. If that would have been other counties with other, how can I put it, other folk in the courthouse, and there was an anthrax scare with white powder in an envelope, they would have got their hind ponces out of there so fast your head would swim.
Right.
So you're talking about a difference in people. I mean, I have to point it out. I got to say it. I got to say the difference. The difference, everyone knows it. Who's listening to me, you know what I'm talking about. It's Baltimore City. Sheriff Cogan decided to keep those vast majority employee black folks in that court. Keep them in there and not let them out. During an anthrax scare. Why are people not picketing? Why are people not upset about this? You know why? Because it's business as usual in Baltimore. Stomp on the lower income folk, like stealing gift cards from them. Stomp on people of a different race. You know what I'm saying? Stomp on them, and it's business as usual because this is Baltimore. And this is the way it is. That's why you need a mayor in there. You need leaders who just don't go along to get along. And these people go along to get along with the stomping of a lower income folk, with black folk, because they don't care. They don't care. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be going down to City Hall after we take the show. This is a Thursday taping of The Outsiders. But I'm going to be going down to City Hall, 5 o'clock, and I'm going to talk about what's going on, the embarrassment, how people aren't being treated fairly. Our neighborhood is saying we don't want one lane on Gwynns Falls Parkway. We don't want a bike lane. We don't want it. And they're trying to jam it and force it down their throat. So because they don't care. That's the reason. Even Brandon said it. They asked him a question about the Brooklyn Day shooting and the warnings they got prior to the shooting. Do you know what he said? He said it doesn't matter. I don't care. He said that's what he said. I don't care. So there's your attitude. But let's get to, because I want to finish up with this, and I believe Mackenzie's going to be asking Sheila a question at the Sheila Dixon Show. I'm in Town Hall. Okay, here we go.
It is a public safety agency that oversees the group violence reduction strategy that's being implemented in various police districts across the city. It also oversees the Safe Streets program. Former Mayor, if elected, would you keep Monzi in its current capacity, given the concerns that we've heard from various council members about the growth and expansion? Most of the funding comes from the federal ARPA dollars, which we know is one time. The funding cliff is upon us relatively soon. Do you have any concerns about keeping Monzi in place the way it's currently structured?
Because of being on the outside and...
Stop it. Now, she used this terminology, being on the outside. I'm not on the inside. I'm on the outside. Now, stop using our terminology, Sheila. We're the outsiders. We have the inside information, but we're the outsiders. Sheila, you're not on the outside. So let me tell you something, honey child. That's the language you understand. Let me tell you something, honey child. Stop using our terminology and trying to co-opt the outsiders to make it look like you're on the outside when you are as inside as they get. You are insider's insider. And you're trying to trick these people, trying to co-opt our terminology. Doc, did you hear what she said? Hello, Doc. Hello, everyone. So I do not know what's going on.
I'm here.
Okay, everybody on? Doc, you there? Okay, his phone is on. I see it running. But anyway, Wendell, you heard what he said. Doc should be coming back. He's on location, y'all. This happens. This happens. She's using our terminology, trying to make it seem as though she's on the outside. And she's not on the outside. She's an insider. She's an insider's insider. So, Sheila, and here's the thing, because I've been involved in campaigns, and I was a campaign advisor, and somebody came up with this, some dumbbell, said, hey, Sheila, because she got this issue going on with Conway, and it's going to come out. There's a serious issue going on with Xavier Conway in that circuit court, and it's getting out, and it's going to come out. There's a reason why I can't just put it out on my podcast. People who find out, they'll understand why. But somebody came up with this brainchild. Hey, Sheila, what we should do is Well, who's that? What is that? Another radio? Okay, we're getting feedback here. Okay, but I want people to hear this clearly. This is what's going on. Okay, she's trying to co-opt outside. Outsider, she's an outsider. That is bullshit. Sheila Dixon is an insider. Gift card, contractors, 12 indictments, Baltimore City Council president. She's an insider. That's what she is. Former mayor. And for her to try to get on Fox to make it look like and paint herself as an outsider, Sheila, I'm just going to bust that flat out. So, and do it again. You're not an outsider. So don't you try to put yourself in my category or Doc Cheatham's category or other people's category, the people of Baltimore City, and try to align yourself and try to do that, because every time you do, I'm going to bust you flat out, because you're not an outsider. You're an insider. Wendell, what do you think of that?
I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. Everything that you said was facts. And it seemed like what the news outlets are trying to do is like, because there's no secret. Nobody really likes Brandon Scott. We just want to be honest with you. Right?
No.
So it seems like they're trying to do is, they're trying to say, oh, people like Brandon, so let's just list this Sheila this for everybody to make it seem like that she's a better choice. But if we've been honest completely, and I'm just being transparent, I mean, I don't know Sheila personally, but as far as what she's done as man, that doesn't matter now. We talk about 2023.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And what she's done doesn't matter. The system that she had in place, this is a whole generation, right? If these kids don't even listen to their parents, I'm sure they won't listen to her. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think this is what this radio show that we have, we're going to afford you the opportunity that all candidates should have, and that is give us your information, how we contact you, how our listeners to this radio broadcast can contact you and get involved in your campaign. Absolutely. My website, I have a website, it's called wendellfreeman.com. You can go in there, you can sign up to volunteer. You can go in there and actually register to vote as well. You can register to vote. Please get out, register to vote. Everybody that's listening, get out and vote. This is a crucial election. Like I said, this election is going to determine our fate for the next 5 to 10 years for the city of Baltimore. So please get out and vote. I have an Instagram. My Instagram is Freeman for Baltimore. And I get on Facebook. My name, Wendell Freeman. You can follow me on those things, and you can find anything I got going on. I have a fundraiser November 18th. I'm doing a talent show for Baltimore City. So anybody who's listening, if you want to get on, you want to show your best stuff, please send me a DM or please send me a message. And I would love to have you perform, and the winner gonna get a prize that night. So yeah, that's how you can reach me. Okay,
that's great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish up the Sheila Dixon Show. I'm sorry, Town Hall. I'm going to finish that up. After we finish this, Wendell, you're going to give out your information again. So let me go ahead and finish this answer by Sheila Dixon from a question from Mackenzie Frost. Oh, Mackenzie, I'm snatching away the offer. I was going to make her an honorary outsider because I liked her work with Brandon and the questions she was asking and so on. But with this debacle that you did, there's no way you can be an outsider anymore. Your credibility on this town hall, Mackenzie, just got cracked, shot. So let me go.
I wouldn't necessarily put the blame totally on Mackenzie. Mackenzie might be doing what Fox is telling her to do.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing about the outsiders, Doc. See, WMEG online radio, the owner was friends with the mayor. And I had said, you know what? So what? I'm going to say what I want to say when I want to say it. Now, you have a problem with that, let me know now. And he said, no, Sean, you can go ahead and, I don't have a problem, business is business. But I did not say when I found out, oh, wow, let me make sure I don't say this or say that. Screw that. That's not how I roll. I don't lay down for nobody.
I would say that's how you run your show.
So if that's the media hierarchy you put yourself into, maybe you should have said, you know what, guys, get somebody else to do this one. But oh well, that's another story. But let me go ahead and get with Sheila's answer.
And not understanding how Monty works, I really don't, to be honest with you, how it works, and I don't know whether or not it's effective or not.
Okay, let me get this straight. You don't understand how Monty works. How do you not understand how Monty works? We've been talking about Monty, Doc, for how long? Like years. Been a few years, right? So how does she not know? I mean, what you're saying is you're either incompetent or you're stupid. That's what you're saying in that answer. When you don't know how Monty works. It's the mayor's office of neighborhood safety and engagement. You were the mayor once. You had plenty of time to study it. So you're either incompetent because you didn't study Monty, which is what you should have done, or you're stupid. You just can't understand because you don't have the brain power. That's what that means. So let me go on. Let me go on with Bubblehead.
And so I would definitely assess it. What concerns me is using...
What do you mean you will assess it? You just said you don't understand it. Wendell, did you see how I analyze people and things?
Yeah.
Okay, you see what I'm doing here? See, I'm take notes because it's a little class I'm giving. You got to listen to your opponent and what they're saying. Analyze it because you will be debating this Bubblehead. You will be debating Bubblehead. Okay, so take notes because she just contradicted herself. You don't understand it. You've had years to analyze it. You've had time to analyze it since Slim Shady put it into play. And you don't understand it. So I'm here dissecting your stupidity on my podcast. So let me go on with Bubblehead.
The ARPA funds to fund organizations like Monty, like other groups.
Well, how did you know that? You said you didn't know about Monty. Did you see where I'm going here, Wendell? She just said, I don't know about Monty. Now you're saying, now you're an expert, what, a sentence later, about ARPA and Monty. Okay, so this is what Sheila does. She deflects. And that's how she does. So when you debate her, you understand. When she starts saying, you gotta listen to what she said, she's going to contradict herself. She is a walking, talking contradiction meme. Let's go on.
Expensive to maintain the infrastructure and the loss of population. When we lose...
Okay, now, doesn't she sound like she's kind of an expert now? I thought she didn't know anything about it. Okay, what is she talking about? ARPA or Monty, or the combination of ARPA and what the money is supposed to give to Monty and what they're supposed to do? Do you see what she's doing? Everyone listening and watching the YouTube and iHeart, do you hear how Sheila Dixon operates? She operates in deceit. That's what she's doing right now. She's deflecting and being deceitful. She's the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. I'm not into tarot cards or anything like that. I'm a Christian. However, I'm a big James Bond fan. As Doc knows. I'm big 007, big James Bond fan. I was even... and my dad even named me after Sean Connery. That's why my name is spelled S-E-A-N. And in the movie Live and Let Die, that was the Roger Moore. Roger Moore's first Bond movie was Live and Let Die. Okay? And I got the bonds, all the bonds on my wall of fame here in the man cave. But there was a scene, and it was a tarot card. It was the Queen of Cups. And it means lying deceitful, a deceitful woman. Okay? That's what the Queen of Cups is. And Sheila, that's who you are. You're the Queen of Cups. That's what I'm going to call you that. I'm going to call you the Queen of Cups. I was thinking of Miss Zanzibar. That's an inside story, y'all. But I'm going to go with the Queen of Cups. Because that's what you're deceitful. And it's staying with what you're doing with the church. And taking people who are believers and Christians and in the church and saying, it's okay for me to be mayor again because I was forgiven. No, you're forgiven, that means move on, which is what you should do. This sideshow, your clown show, the Sheila Dixon Show Town Hall, because that's what it is, a clown show, because you look like a clown. You should move on. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you get to go back and we get to put the fox back into the chicken coop. Okay, the fox ate some of the chickens. The fox ate some of the chickens, and now you going to folks saying, okay, can y'all put me back in the chicken house again? No, you know what, fox? We forgive you. Move on. Live your life. Like she said, I have a private life and people keep coming out to me and I got a private life. Well, keep it private. You can still do some good. You can still do some good for Baltimore in other capacities other than being mayor. That's why I know she's full of crap. But anyway, let's finish with Bubblehead, the Queen of Cups.
People, we're losing piggyback tax, we're losing sales tax, we're losing property tax, and a lot of that money going to...
You're talking about losing money. We're losing gift card tax. Oh, no, that's no gift card tax. Let me go. Sorry about that. There's no gift card tax. Let me go on. Let me go on.
Goes to recreation and parks and other agencies. And so, you know, there might be a group that's out there in the community, as Judge Hurd mentioned, who's not getting certain resources.
Yeah, Judge Hurd, who's supporting you. Oh, I like Judge Hurd, but, you know, you guys loaded the deck out on the Sheila Dixon Show. Let me continue.
That might be more effective than this. So I always believe in evaluating and assessing.
I know that this...
Is that what you always believe in? Hey, how about, Sheila, here's my evaluation and my assessment. You should go and stay in private life. That's my evaluation and that's my assessment. Because you are an embarrassment. You're a national embarrassment. People are calling my friends. My friends are telling me, Sean, what's going on in Baltimore? Sheila Dixon's running again? Are you serious? Are you people thinking about putting her back in office? Doc, have you been getting calls like that? I have. Doc, are you there?
Yeah, I know. I've not been getting any calls. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I've not gotten calls because I think folks know that, you know, I'm an issue person. And, you know, I will bring to my community the issues that we want candidates to address. And the other stuff, I just don't have time for it. I really just don't have time.
Oh, that's okay, because I do. And I do. And people are like, what is going on? My family from Philly is like, are you guys serious? Okay, so I'm just putting it out there. Full disclosure. Let me continue.
The discussion tonight is really centering around public safety, but you mentioned how you would have spent ARPA dollars had you been in place. Do you think the city squandered the $641 billion or $1 million that the city got?
You know, I think that's not a question for me because I'm not on the inside.
Here we go again. She's not on the inside. Well, she's on the outside. It's a legitimate question, but you were scared to answer it. You know what? Hey, Wendell. I'm going to ask you the question. The question that Mackenzie just asked with the 641, she said billion, and she corrected herself, $641 million. Do you believe it was squandered, or are you going to, say, I can't answer that because I'm not on the inside, and a chicken answer, or are you going to answer? Or you're going to answer straight up? Do you believe that the $641 million in some form, shape, or fashion may have been squandered?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to answer the question straight up.
Okay.
That's what the people is there for.
That's what they're there for, exactly. So, what would you have done? Because I have a question off of a question. What would you have done in regards to the $641 million that was given to the city? Let's say you were mayor. Hypothetically, you're mayor. And the city gets $641 million. What are you going to do? What would you do?
Well, what I would do as mayor, if I was the mayor and I had $641 million, what I would do first and foremost, we got to address day-to-day trouble that people have. So I would have addressed that question into bigger houses, the homelessness.
Oh my goodness, good answer.
I would, like I said, homelessness, bigger houses. I would put money into black and brown businesses, as far as minority businesses, as far as helping them get off the ground. What else would I have done? I would have done things for the community, like really big things, like things that I actually help them out. Because it's not just about partying and just stuff really getting in the community and helping them find out what they need and their investors in those needs. So that's what I would have done. I'd have got my team, but when each community figured out what people need and gave them the resources.
That is a great answer. That's why you should have been on that panel. You should have been there, and the other candidates should have been up there so that they could answer that question. Sheila copped out on the question, acted like a coward, and she wants to be a leader. Brandon took that money and he got it to his crony friends, okay? And you said you would have gotten it to the community, not to little organizations who are part of the mayor's office and all that other stuff. And that is a great answer. Doc, what do you think of Wendell's answer? Is Doc still here?
Yeah, I'm still here, and I think Wendell is very, not only just articulate, but I think he understands the challenges that we have here in Baltimore. And I'm really looking forward to hearing and seeing him on some of these TV and radio programs espousing what he knows. To be as young as he is, I'm very impressed, and I'm just looking forward to hopefully people who are listening to this and other TV and radio stations, let's demand that we hear all of the candidates, not just some that TV or radio stations have picked. Let us hear from all of the candidates.
Exactly. And Wendell, give out your information again so that the people can get in contact with you. Hello, Wendell, you there?
I'm sorry about that, man. Answer one more time.
Yeah, give out your information so that people can get in contact with you again.
Yes. You can reach me at my website, wendellfreeman.com. My email is contactus@wendellfreeman.com. You want to email me. My Instagram is Freeman from Baltimore, and I have a Facebook. It's my name, Wendell Freeman. You can find me on there. You can reach out to me on there. Anything that I'm doing campaign-wise, you can find out all on social media and on my website or something like that. And like I said, again, I'm fundraising coming up November 18th. I'm going to the talent show for Baltimore. I want to showcase the best of Baltimore that we have. Because we can bring all these celebrities out here, and show act like Baltimore is it. But we have so much talent in Baltimore. So that's what I'm going to expose. I want to expose the talent here in Baltimore and give the winner a prize. So that's how you can reach me.
Well, that is great, fantastic. Wendell, it was a pleasure. Wendell Freeman, he is a legit candidate, legit. He is a real deal, and he's got some good ideas and solid answers, answered the questions straight up. So, Wendell, what do you think of the Outsiders?
I love you guys, man. I would love to come back soon. You know how to reach me, just get back with me and make sure everybody who's listening, check out the Outside video. Y'all guys are great men. I can't wait to meet you guys real soon.
Well, we're definitely going to do that, and we got to get ready to go. But guys, thanks for another great show, Doc.
Yes, indeed, as always.
Okay. Okay, guys, take care.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye. Another episode of The Outsiders, and thank you all for being here with us, and God bless. Take care. Now listening to The Outsiders podcast.